I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We're joined by Selma Cottonabend. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. First of all, could you please introduce yourself to everybody?
The name is Selma Cottonabend. I am the science cat. Basically, I do a lot of, what should I call it? Like, I do like lecture streaming. We talk about some crazy topic, and I am prepared to make like more chemistry streaming if I can. They're not really a specific thing that I do consistently because I have a lot of work to do in real life.
Oh yeah. Well, sometimes that
really bad.
that gets in the way all the time. There's always real life trying to jump in the way, no matter what you're trying to do.
It's always be like that.
Yes.
I normally don't run my channel alone. Like, I have my brother. Like, we both doing science in real life too.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just have like we schedule a stream and then he just give me a call. I got emergency work. I'm not going to be here for like 2 weeks, and he just disappear off the planet.
just suddenly about 2 weeks later, and there you are again.
Give him 2 weeks. Give him 2 weeks. He will come back.
Well, why did you decide to do some things on the internet and VTubing in the first place?
That is a huge lore dump, like 10 years lore dump. Well, I mean, around my high school, like 2014, I think, is like around the time that the science YouTuber is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I was in high school. I like chemistry. I start my home amateur chemistry myself.
Uh-huh.
Like, I start to have like a glassware and like reagent in my cabinet. And I'm thinking, there's no good content like this in my language. Maybe I should do it. Then I just get my cheap ass phone, trying to film everything, and I'm like, this is not working. And the worst part of it is not my stupidity or my unsafe practice. It just, I look like dog shit in real life.
Oh, now I was in radio for 35 years, and I had the perfect face to not be shown on anything but the radio.
Yeah, basically. So I deleted the clip and I never attempt at it again.
Yeah.
Until like around. Do you know the VTuber, Hololive VTuber that is like Octopus Team?
Oh, yeah.
There were a girl.
Ina.
Ina is.
Yes.
And I was trying to learn how to draw around that time. So I watching a lot of her stream when she debuted and streaming. And I'm like, wait a minute. There are ways that I can do a lecture or I can show stuff without showing my face and scare everyone off. Maybe that's going to work.
Oh, yeah. Does it make it more comfortable for you to be talking to all these folks on the internet with having that model in between you and them?
Yeah, it's better because, like, aside from the IRL self that kind of sucks, it also both me and my brother is like not. It's kind of a big name people in the industry, so we don't like people interfere with our personal life.
Right.
So it's like better for it just a little bit better for us to just be a cat and not worry about people finding us in real life and interfering with our life. Or, imagine you just go to like construction store and people be like, are you that guy making like homemade rocket and stuff? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about it here.
That's right. And besides that, cats
Uh,
don't care. So
yeah, no. Aside from that, cat normally don't care, and everyone like cat.
yep.
There's no way people don't like cat.
I have 9
There's
cats.
no bad.
I have 9 of them myself. So there you go.
Go pet them. Go pet all of them after you finishing this.
Oh, they'll make sure I do. They run the place more than I do. I'll tell you that. So
uh,
the lecture type things you're doing on the stream, um, was that what you started right away when you got your model set up and started streaming as a VTuber, or did you start with something
uh,
else first?
I actually still having it. The first stream that I make is like my first on Twitch too. I
Mm.
was streaming on YouTube before, but my laptop is basically potato at this point, so it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And it's around the same time that I changed the model to like I changed the theme and the model like completely 100 degree, 180 degree because
Yeah. Yeah.
my old model is I made it as a joke.
Mm.
I used to have a friend who do VTubing, and I am like handle the behind the scenes stuff
Mhm.
and like technical troubleshooting. And I take over her channel like once as a beautiful joke,
Mhm.
but that one don't feel fit me, don't feel right. So I get my own thing going thanks to my artist. Like I get the wrong people for the right work.
That's a,
And I think the first lecture on Twitch that I did is like surviving extreme weather because it's around the time that we got like a bad flooding in my country.
yeah.
So I just give people survival tip.
That's the um the topic that you uh, do your lectures on is a topic I know so little about. Um, the the science and the chemistry type things. I never took that in school at all. I was more in the English and regular math type situations. So I think this is interesting that you're able to do this online. Um, is it easy for you, given your background, to come up with topics each time?
It might sound surprising, but I actually hate chemistry in high school. Like I don't like school chemistry enough that I just start my own thing at home.
Yeah.
Uh, about my background, I am actually like a research assistant and
Right.
working in like chemistry stuff for
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
I work on chemistry stuff for aerospace things, and my brother is like biochem.
Oh yeah. That's a
So
lot of that's a lot of stuff that you need to be very much smarter than me to figure out. I'm
yeah, I think I start doing this when I'm like 16. Like my brother needs someone to lab setting for him because he do like PhD and he's really busy.
uh-huh.
And he just give me like a crash course training and toss me into his lab and be like, don't break anything. And also watch that thing out. I keep it running and he just gone. He just disappear for like 2 hours and he's come back and like, are you breaking anything?
No, not yet. Still trying. But the
I'm trying not to break your things.
so when you are on, uh, do you have your presentation online? Is it do you use uh, is it simply a lecture? Are there uh, animations that go along with it? How do you do this?
uh, it depends on the topic. Like the better stuff, I have like I kind of making a slideshow that really crappy because I did it in rush. But sometimes we just like sometimes, especially when my brother is on board with me in the stream, it's just us talking.
Hmm.
And sometimes we just put a funny background on it. Like the first time that he's showing up, he asking for the dog inside the burning house meme as a background.
This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine. Everything is burning.
Everything's burning. It's just fine. A lot of people feel that way almost every day. Unfortunately, these days, but it's uh, with what you're able to do. How has the chat and the audience taken to it? I mean, do you get questions as you go?
Yeah, we got like question on the chat. We also got like an offline form
Uh huh.
that people can submit a question, so we answer it.
Oh, that's
Like some
cool.
people asking some, and I have an option like, do they want to asking me? Do they want to ask my brother? Because we have like a different specialty,
Mm-hmm.
or they want to ask us both, so we can give a comment.
Uh,
And there are already a few people, like some people asking, like, how do you extending people life with a stem cell, or is it going to like affecting our human evolution?
right.
Some people asking, like, how do they reduce the chance of getting sick from certain genetic stuff? And some people just asking, do you have a plan for sinking Steve?
That's all over the place there. You really have to catch them from all angles, don't you?
Yeah. In Thailand, most of the VTuber stuff still very idol audience like oriented. So it's really weird for someone to just have a VTuber model or PNG model and never touch anything idol stuff.
Yeah.
And we are kind of like that. We are basically just a normal science channel, but having a PNG instead of showing up ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that helps you though, because as you said, you kind of keep things private, and but you're still able to do what you want online, and that's a very good use of that.
Yeah. For the chat people, I I would say a lot of people in the chat is like even more qualified than me, like my brother level of qualification.
That's
So some
scary.
people be like, some people just showing up and asking, how do you survive master degree? And I'm like, I don't have master degree. I never take a master course. I am also not taking. I'm also not doing a PhD because I don't want to end up like my brother.
Yeah. Yeah. You're still you're into it, but you're not, so committed that it's actually harming your mental health any. That's but the fact that you're able to do this, I mean, is pretty amazing, don't you think? That from where you're at, you're able to do these broadcasts to potentially people all over the world.
I mean, that is like my biggest wish in my life that I want to have like, the cool science people on my stream and like talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few people that on the list. They're the professor who they're a professor from Thailand who is like doing. I don't remember what it's called exactly, but it's basically a food research program for NASA.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually posting like a job hunting post for him because he need like new assistant, but I am already taken by my brother team, so I cannot sign up for that. Or like my or like my boss from the company I used to work with.
Mm-hmm.
He run like aerospace company, and I was there when they doing like research and development.
Yeah.
I want to get him on the stream, but he's also the busy guy, and I feel like my channel is still too small for that.
Mm. Well, you might be surprised. It might take to it very quickly. It might take it to it too quickly. Just start doing their own stuff. You end up creating a monster. they, they'll take over and start one of their own. But it does sound like though that you're having fun with it. Is that true? Are you enjoying this type of stuff?
it's basically the main idea of the channel. Like if I'm not having fun about it, I'm not doing it. And that is also reflect in my like inconsistency in streaming, because if I feel too sick or if I'm too tired or I'm not in the mood to tell people about things that I am happy about, then I'm not streaming that week.
Mm, mm. Well,
Which is kind of hurt me algorithmically, but I don't care. I do what I want because I am a cat. You cannot force cat to do things.
no, you can't. You can't point. You can't even point them. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't lead a cat to anything. They're just not going anywhere. They stand there at the door, and well, you say, "Do you want to go outside?" And they just look at you like that's not for you to figure out.
And you know it gets worse when the cat is orange.
Oh yes, yes. One of our cats is mostly orange, and he he just wrecks the place sometimes. he's he's
Yeah.
he does know his own strength, and that's because I don't think he's got much brain whatever. Just kind of runs into things head first. Skin makes
Well, I
him.
mean, I stole his brain cell. His brain cell belonged to me.
You might want to give it back because it wasn't that good to start with. He's the one that gets bapped on the head by the other cats because he jumps right in the middle of things and they're like, no, whack, and he doesn't care. He just keeps going. The
Yeah, that's what cat do.
Yep, yep. What was the last topic you streamed about?
The last topic I do myself,
Mm-hmm.
I think is the uh ITF5, the Starship test,
Mm.
because I do like a watch along and give people explanation and like commentary on that stuff.
Ooh, that's
The last stream that I do with my brother is about stem cell and like the the capability of it, the misconception and misunderstanding that people have about it.
mm-hmm. Oh, there's a lot of that. I think I think people have more misconceptions about it than know exactly what's going on. If you're not somebody who works in the field anyway.
That is like one of the reason why we just being cat, because we want to talk about something that some people in the industry might not agree with. Like, yeah, taking stem cell like and frozen it, that sounds cool, but how much of that stem cell you take
Mm-hmm.
is surviving the freezing process,
Mm-hmm.
and like how many of that survive the freezing process can actually being used to fix whatever you screw up with.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, if that's if it ends up being those types of cells are the ones that you need to fix screw ups, then I need an entire 70-story building full of them. If they're a way to fix all the stuff I've screwed up with my health over the years, are they in your opinion? Do you think these cells are the key to uh, almost all types of genetic problems?
Uh that would be a question for my brother, not me, because I am engineer. But it's not. I don't think you can fix everything with stem cell, but it's also not. How do I put it?
It's not not too far to think that they could help.
I mean, it could help,
Uh-huh.
but it's going to be expensive.
Oh well, yeah. There isn't any doubt about that right now. At least right now, it's going to be expensive still, and there's still a lot of testing to be done, and it's amazing that what they're able to do, though. Do you sit down and found yourself fascinated by these cells are able to do?
It is like one of the big thing when I was a kid, because I am really a sickly kid.
Mm-hmm.
I spent like half my childhood in hospital
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out like what's going wrong with me.
Yeah. Yeah. And know that.
And that is like actually why I'm into like science stuff. Like it have an answer to what I need to know.
Um, so you came in it because basically you had to start learning about it to find out what was going on with you.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, like I'm from Asia,
Uh-huh.
if my accent is not obvious enough, and there were a time that parent is like really crazy over like trying to get the kid to be like super academic person.
Oh
So I'm
yes.
growing up with only entertainment, being like science documentary. Plus,
Mm.
I am also being a really sick kid myself, and I mean, there's nothing much to do to kill time aside from asking people like, "What are you doing with me?"
So you ended up basically that was you ended up learning because that's all you could do at that point.
Yeah, and I'm also a really curious person by myself. Like, I keep asking so many questions that my parents just get tired of it, and they just end up buying a lot of books that is like above my should be above my age level, and like just get me to read it. So I stopped asking them questions.
No, well, yeah, but if you're curious enough, you start asking more questions.
I
Make
mean, that is basically what end up, and they just say maybe you should read it yourself, and that is probably why I am like to look up things myself. And it's around the time that internet become a thing, so
mm,
a lot of things available for free. That is like my heaven.
yeah. Well, do you find that kind of a double-edged sword sometimes? Because some of the stuff you find on the internet is just, really, you talk about outer
Yeah, but
space. This some of it is way out of space.
uh, yeah, it's also a thing that I have to like do kind of do reference work, like do the thing I read from the internet, also go with what I get from like the actual textbook or something like that.
Right. Right.
So sometimes when I'm reading things on the net, I am like 50-50. I'm not believing it entirely.
Mm-hmm. And until you can see for yourself, anyway.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's. I really wish a lot more people would take that to heart because I said some people are really more open to internet opinions that aren't necessarily facts because of their situation. Maybe they're desperate, or maybe they're just that type of person where they go for things along those lines. But looking into it yourself makes so much difference in those types of decisions.
Well, there are a lot like something that people don't understand is scary, and sometimes that people want an answer, but if they don't get an answer, they start trying to connect the dot themselves, and sometimes the dot just take them to the wrong place.
Hmm.
Like, do you see the news about like the UFO thing that just happening? But like all of the UFO that they seeing have like aviation rules
Right.
following light.
Yeah. 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 It's and people will for some reason some people just like to follow the stranger parts, the ones that don't have any background, rather than the ones that have the definite background when it comes to those types of things. Not much you can do about that other than show them what's going on the right way.
Yeah, basically, like we can just say, that is a plane, and look at the the flight data. You're
Yeah.
going to see them in there, and that is like pretty much all we can do for a case like that.
Yeah.
Or like when people saying, "Oh, the GMO is bad," or when people saying like, "Should we, genetic engineering our kid?" And we can just say, "This is the risk and this is the benefit. I cannot decide for you because that's not my life.
Uh-huh.
You have to decide for it yourself after you take a look at these data.
Yeah. So when you end up with somebody, and I'm sure it probably, if it hasn't happened yet, it probably will. When you get somebody who's asking questions that are just way just you'd never think of the questions because they're so wrong. How
That is actually one of my channel policy that there are no stupid question
yeah.
because we literally be here to explain things. But if it's really wacky, probably just like what? What are you asking? What are you coming up with that? And we try to explain it to the most we can.
try to let them down easy.
You just try to explain things like some people is asking can if the stem cell can change human evolution, and I'm like that's not how it works. And then I toss it to my brother to help him explain because he know about this thing more than me.
Right. It might someone as uneducated and uninformed as myself would come on and say, if I take a bunch of stem cells, will I be able to fly?
No. No, but maybe you can genetic engineer yourself like a big wing or something. But that's going to bring it back to me because you're not going to have enough like flight surface to fly. Like sometimes our answer for question is like this wacky. Like you can technically.
Yeah. There's ways, but not the way you think. so so
Yeah,
you
there are way, but we might have to break physics.
so you've been keeping an eye on the up in space with at the space station.
Can you ask that again?
Oh, sorry, I was awkward with that. So you've been watching what's been happening at the space station?
Which one? I have to ask like which one are you talking about? Like the normal activity stuff or like the
Yeah,
normal live stream they're doing?
yeah, the live stream and what's going on up there.
Sometime
Yeah,
I just watch it. Like sometimes I need something in the background. Sometimes I just listen to this kind of stream.
yeah,
But because a lot of operation is like it have to be done when they have
hmm,
a daylight.
yeah, yeah. There's
So it is not the same time as my time zone. So that is one of the problem when I try to do like space related or rocket launch watch along
hmm,
because it usually happen in like 2 a.m. my time.
yeah,
I am awake,
yeah,
but most people are not.
yes. It is does cause some problems. Is that tougher for you because of the time zones to schedule for an audience?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like time zone is kind of getting in the way, but uh, sometimes, but I mean that also advantage because sometimes it happen in like the middle of the night for people in the English side,
Hmm.
the Western side, but it's actually like a perfect time for me because it's like 8 p.m. in my time.
It's almost a 12-hour difference between yourself and a lot of other people. So that actually for folks and of course I do a lot of scheduling myself for these interviews. That actually works out pretty good. If you can, if it's easy to remember and you can usually set that up in advance pretty easily. It
Yeah,
does.
I get really used to like time zone conversion, so it's not too hard for me to like try to set up something that work in 2 time zone. But if I have to set up something that work in 3 time zone, then I am out. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that would be really tough. Trying to get everybody's time zone together. It's more than two is it adds exponents to the factor. I don't need the
Yeah, like
odds to get
everything
any
just
worse.
it it is basically like a three body problem for for time zone scheduling. Like when there's a third factor in there, it's like everything just go haywire. Boom.
Oh yeah, just one little thing and everything goes down. But and that's with the modern technology. I started with radio back in 1985, 84, 85. So you can imagine what that would type. You'd have to just imagine how how it would be trying to set something like this up back then, because you couldn't. It just wouldn't work out the same trying to do that in 1985 that even we're doing right now.
Like the more system integration you have to do, the more chance it's going to fail.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The more chances you have for something to go down when that happens. So, what would you like to do with the channel to expand things? Have you got any big plans for doing different things now with your channel?
There are big project going on. It's something about like genetic analysis. So basically, you get your gene sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So and like you can take a look at what risk you have inside your genetics. So basically, I'm doxing myself genetically, but a lot of info will be redacted. And I am not doing this through like the big name company
Right.
because a lot of because they got a lot of issue that we might talk about in the big stream too.
Yeah.
I am doing like both me and my brother plan to doing this like through his contact.
Mm-hmm.
My brother run his own lab,
Mm.
so we're probably going to do it through like his lab, and we're going to analyze whatever we're finding on stream, which is a little bit big.
Mm.
But the bigger thing is like I want to make it like 1 hour documentary, which I don't know if I can doing that.
Oh, I'm sure you can. And it's but that's a really cool idea. I think that people are starting to at least at least be interested in this. And I guess in order to to spread out that type of information and that education, you have to have people interested in learning it first.
Yeah, we try to make it not boring. Like one of the main thing about science that make a lot of people don't like it in my country is like science in school is so boring. Like it's so boring that it should be crime to make it that boring. Which is why I want to make like I want to use my channel to show people like this is the actual thing, this is the chaos, the not perfect side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is perfect in here. Like you say sometimes you get theory working, sometimes you get the lab working, and here nothing work.
Yeah, it starts from trying to turn on your computer and you get the blue screen of death, and then it goes from there. That happens everywhere.
Yeah, it's happened everywhere. And sometimes I tell people like, yeah, I run my stream on like the setup that is really, really not optimized for this. So every stream is like a stress test for my system, and people kind of like it. So we just stick to the theme.
Well, folks,
screw things up.
Well, folks need to tune in and find out what's going on here and learn from you, because it does sound like it's from you. It sounds like a something that you enjoy doing and imparting the knowledge to people, and it's a chance for everybody to learn. And when you have that opportunity, you should take it. If you find out stuff that you didn't know you were interested in, you can certainly find out the information that you didn't know about before. And I thank you for doing this. This is a great service you're doing for people.
And I mean, it also has like a personal part in it. Like I actually want to like be a lab tech or like a teaching assistant, but I don't know how good I can tell people about things. So this channel is like testing the water that can I doing this? Can I not doing this? And let me say that I'm not doing good at it. Like I feel like I am flopping through this entire interview all the time because talking skill is not my strong skill. I normally just hold up in the room in the back and like, what do you want?
Well, I mean, first of all, you have to have the want to. You have to have you have to want to do it in the first place. And it sounds like to me that you've got that all over the place, and the courage to come on and do it. And the avatar helps, but there's still a lot of you out there, and the fact that you're willing to share the knowledge with people means a lot to me anyway, and should mean a lot to the folks who come in and watch. Thank you so much for doing that, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I do appreciate you coming on and talking with me, and hopefully we can get you on again soon, and we can talk more about what's going on with you.
Yeah, we probably got something big going on soon, I hope. Like, there's something that if it happens, it's going to like kickstart everything.
Oh,
it needs to happen first.
Well,
that needs to happen first, but I really cannot tell you like what's going on because it relates to like the work I like both me and my brother do. But if it happens, you're going to see the sign. Like, I'm probably going to have to like relocate everything.
Oh my!
Not going a pain in the
ass. No matter how you put it,
like,
no matter how you put it scientifically, it's going to be a pain in the ass.
I don't know. I probably have to say like it's worse than chronic pain in my leg or something like that.
Yeah.
If I want to keep it like PG.
No, that's fine.
So younger people can watch it.
No, it's that says it. That goes right to the point and tells people exactly how it's going to be like. You don't mince words when it comes to that sort of thing. That's the way to do it.
It's like a bad habit I got from like my old company.
Yeah.
Like in space industry, a lot of people swear like really like just flat out swear when something like make a blow up noise. Like, there were times that we are testing stuff and we hear like a big bang from the instrument, and I just look at a chief, like the chief engineer of the team. I'm like, did it explode? Did it pop? He also looked at me like, I don't know. Should we go look? So I just went in. So I just clear everything, like call the safety stuff, and like just went in to check it. And I'm like, no, it actually worked, but it worked for like 2 seconds.
And then it exploded.
I mean, on the good thing, the thing is like a controlled explosion.
Yes.
That is as much as I can tell. So we're like safe.
Everybody should have that in their job. And they hear something, the first words out of their mouth was, "Did it explode?"
Like, are we burning? Are we exploding? No. Okay, that's good. Everything continue.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure talking with you. And once your super secret project gets going, we'll get you on again. So as soon as you can talk about it, okay?
Yeah, sure. I will be happy to come back again. And also, thank you for feature the weirdest guy you ever have your hand on.
I don't know. I'm pretty weird in different ways. So the both of us are pretty weird guys.
Yeah, we are weird people. Weird people to weird people communication.
There you go. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.